Here I'm just going to use the NYX Dewy Finish Setting Spray to start the process of priming my face. Next I'm just using the NYX Hydra Touch Primer, and I'm just applying that all over my face, making sure to work it into my skin. Next I'm just using the Rodan & Fields Essentials Lip Shield. It's got an SPF of 25 to make sure that your lips stay hydrated and protected. For foundation, I'm just using the Too Faced Born This Way foundation in the shade Pearl. First, I'm applying it with a traditional foundation brush, and then I'm going back in with a damp beauty blender and pouncing it into my skin. A great foundation from the drugstore that you could use is the Revlon Color Stay. They have two formulations, one for dry and one for oily skin. They're both around $15. When you're wearing foundation, make sure that you are bringing a little bit down your neck and on your ears to avoid making a line. Next, I'm using the Essence I Heart Stage Eye Base to prime my eyelids. Be sure to use a thin layer and to blend out well. This will prevent creasing throughout the day and will make your eyeshadow last. Next, I'm just going to start concealing my under eye circles. Here I'm using the NYX Dark Circle Concealer in Light. I'm using a dual-ended brush from IT Cosmetics. I believe it's called the Luxe Concealer Brush. I'm using one end to apply and the fluffy end to blend it out. This step is to color correct any blue tones that you have under your eyes. Make sure that you get in that inner corner very well because a lot of darkness settles there. Next, for concealer, I'm using the NYX HD Concealer in Porcelain. I'm applying that in a triangular shape underneath the eye to help lift the eye. I'm using a little bit. This may seem excessive for a lot of people, but compared to my everyday, it's not nearly as much. This will just help to brighten those areas. I'm adding a little bit on the top of my lip, the tip of my nose, and in between my eyebrows as well to help balance out the highlighting effect. I'm using the same beauty blender I used for my foundation to blend out the concealer. Next, I'm using the Coty AirSpun Loose Face Powder. Mine is in the shade Translucent Extra Coverage. I'm using the same beauty blender that I've been using and just dipping it into the powder and applying it to my face. This process is called baking. It will help to brighten those areas as well as keep the makeup in place all day. Next, I'm using the NYX Micro Brow Pencil. Mine's in the shade Brunette, and I'm just using that to fill in the sparse areas of my brows. I recommend, if you're a teenager in high school, do not go overboard with this. Make your brows look as natural as possible. Next, I'm just setting my brows with a clear brow gel. This one is the Brow Gal by Tanya Crooks. It's great. It keeps your brows in place all day. Your hairs will not move. Here I used a brush by BH Cosmetics. It's the 125 brush to just dust away that baking powder so that there's no excess powder on our face. To set the rest of the face, I used the NYX Hydra Touch Foundation Powder in the shade Natural. I'm using another BH Cosmetics flat top brush. It's the 123. And I'm just using that to pat the powder all over my face and then going back in with circular buffing motions to blend it in. To bronze up my skin, I'm just using the NYX Contour Kit, and I'm using that first shade on the second row called Tan. I'm using a generic powder brush just to dust that along my cheekbones, along my hairline, under my jawline, and a little bit on my nose. This color is a little bit too dark for my skin tone, so afterwards I'm going back in with an e.l.f. large stippling brush to just blend that out and make it mesh just a little bit better. For blush, I'm using Wet n Wild Color Icon blush in Pink Champagne along with a Mirabella blush brush and just rosying up my cheeks just a little bit. For highlight, I went back into the NYX Contour Kit and I'm using that first shade called Ice Queen. I'm hitting the high points of my face, so my cheekbones, under my brow, a little bit across my forehead, tip of my nose, my cupid's bow, and a little bit on my chin. And then I'm just going back in with the e.l.f. stippling brush and just blending that out to help it seamlessly mesh with the blush and contour. Moving on to my eyes, I'm using Ofra Buttercup eyeshadow to use as a base for all of my other eyeshadows. I'm just dusting that from lash line to brow bone with a Wet n Wild eyeshadow brush. Next, I'm using Millennium Gold from Ofra, and I'm just using my finger to pat that all over my eyelid, not going above the crease. Here I'm using a Luxie 205 tapered blending brush with Ofra Truffle eyeshadow, and I'm just blending that into my crease and my outer V to give my eye a little bit of definition. Here I'm using a Mirabella eyeshadow called Tone with a Morphe MB23 to just blend out that crease shade even more. You could also just use your face powder for this step. Here I'm going back into the Ice Queen shade from the NYX Contour Kit with an Avon eyeliner brush, and I'm not using the angled side, I'm using the smaller rounded detail side to just highlight the inner corners of my eyes and under my brow bone. This will just add a little bit more brightness to that area. Here I'm just taking that Morphe brush again and just blending everything out once more, and then I'm using the Ofra Truffle shade again with a pencil brush from Unique Cosmetics, and then I'm using the NYX matte liquid liner to create a very, very small wing. If you're in a rush to go to school, just skip the liner in general, or just create a very small line across your lid. Do whatever you feel comfortable with. Here I'm going in with the NYX Wonder Pencil in Light, and I'm just lining the inner rim of my eyes. This will just help your eyes look a little bit more wide and awake for those mornings that you're up late studying and you look tired. And then I'm going in and curling my lashes. For mascara, I'm using the L'Oreal Telescopic Carbon Black, and I'm just coating my top and bottom lashes. Feel free to layer as much mascara as you would like, or add false lashes if you're a falsies girl. I just went for a lot of mascara today. Here I'm just using the StarlooksXBoxycharm lip liner in Charmed. I received this in a BoxyCharm a couple of months ago. It's a really pretty peach nude color. If you don't have this, you can use any lip liner that you would like. NYX and L'Oreal have great ones. For lipstick, I went in with a nude color. This one is tre'Stique Mini Matte Lip Crayon in Nantucket Nude. Another great one that I would recommend is the Maybelline Color Sensational 920 Nude Lust. And then for lip gloss, I'm using a Julep lip gloss in the color Graceful. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment telling me what video you would like to see next. Please share this video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!